All right, let's talk today about The Single Life. Now, I know last season I stopped watching The Single Life because I don't know, it was just a whole mess and I just couldn't get into it. But this season, I'm watching The Single Life because I want to see how Debbie gets around in the dating world and Veronica because I liked her from Pillow Talk or whatever. So, let's talk about Debbie and Veronica from The Single Life. Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie. I am the She in Reality TV. And like I said in the intro today, I want to talk about The Single Life, specifically Debbie and Veronica. Let's start with Veronica because she's the more interesting of the two. So, Veronica is dating this dude. I don't know what his name is, and I don't care because this dude is shady. I've kind of thought so from the beginning. So they went on their first date, a couple of episodes ago? And when they came back from their first date, you know how Veronica and Tim's relationship is so tight. There was Tim sitting in Veronica's house when Veronica got back from the date. Now, what's his nose? And I'm going to refer to him as what's his nose because I don't know his name. And as I get deeper into the video, you'll understand why I don't care to learn it. But Tim was in Veronica's house when her and what's his nose came back from the date. So Tim decided that he did not like this guy being in Veronica's house, and he didn't want him to stay if Tim, wasn't also staying. So when Veronica hinted at Tim to leave, Tim got up and said, okay, I'm gonna leave, and so-and-so, hey, so-and-so, I'll walk you out. So instead of Veronica saying, no, Tim, he's staying, got up and left, or what's his nose, got up and left with Tim. Looking at Veronica like, are you gonna say something? But Veronica didn't say anything, and what's his nose and Tim left, okay? So they've been on 3 dates. In this past episode, they went on their third date. On their third date, they went away to somewhere, like rented an Airbnb and hung out, I guess, and Veronica called it their bang weekend, right? Because I guess, she gonna get some. The weekend's going okay. They do sleep together, but he waits until they sleep together to tell her that he is thinking about moving back to Florida, or wherever it is that he's moving back to. I'm thinking it's Florida, with his ex-wife and their kids. Does this sound shady to anybody else? When he said that, I thought, you bastard. You waited until you got the cookie to tell her that you were thinking about moving back or moving away with your ex and your kids? No, I'm sorry, dude. This is Mr. Hit and Run. This dude is Mr. Get It and Go. This dude is Mr. Hit It and Quit It. Like, he had no intention of telling her until they slept together. That's why he did it. I also feel like he told her that because that's all he wanted. He's really not that into her, but he wanted to get some. Feeling like once he got some and told her that, she would be like, you know what, dude? Yeah, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is still so close to his ex that he would even consider moving because she's thinking about moving. Does that make sense to you? I know some of you are going to say, maybe he's that close to his kids, and, he wants to be near his kids, and his ex happens to be moving away from his kids, and he wants to go to be close to them. But, I don't know, people. I'm feeling like, this dude is a dog. Veronica, you need to dump him. You need to dump him because Veronica says, you lied to me, meaning, you excluded this information knowing that if I had it, I probably wouldn't have kept dating you. So he's lying to her by omission, right? And he did. He purposely kept that from her because he figured he wouldn't get the cat if he told her, right? So, I don't like this guy. I don't like him. And even if he doesn't end up moving with his ex, if I were Veronica, I would be bothered by the fact that he's even thinking about moving so far away with his ex-wife and kids. Do you know what I mean? In addition, I'm going to switch gears here for a second. Let's talk about this. I don't know if you want to call it a makeover or whatever it is that they've given Veronica, but she is, I guess her personality is a little bit different than she is on Pillow Talk or whatever other show it is that she's on. She's different, right? The whole, she's so outwardly, I gotta get it, I gotta have it, all of that other. I'm just like, why did you do this to this woman? The scene of them like getting it on before they actually sleep together, yeah, that was too much. Like, you guys are crossing the line, right? For what? Views? You're totally crossing the line. It's getting to be borderline rude. Like the lingerie that she wore, like they blurred out parts of her in order to be able to show that, right? And, she's all over him, and it's like, girl, and you're doing this with cameramen in the room. Like, what do you think this is, OnlyFans? This ain't OnlyFans. If you want to be on OnlyFans and do OnlyFans antics, go open an OnlyFans account. Like, I don't know about you guys. Am I being prudish? Am I being really, like, square? Am I being super prudish when I say, like, what? I don't understand the point. I'm confused. So, Veronica, girl, that is not a good look. It's not a good look. You need to, like, dial it back some. I'm not saying, oh, well, you're being too outwardly forward, and I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. But it just is like, I don't know. You guys might remember, and I'll put the video up here if I can find it, or meaning if I don't have to dig too deep for it. But like probably last season, I did a video about how I was not, like last season for The Single Life, I did not watch it and I did not talk about it because, the show is just, no. Like, I feel like Sharp Entertainment and TLC don't know when to quit with this series, right? If you have to make it more and more outrageous, like Happily Ever After, this season of Happily Ever After that I'm not talking about, is because I'm done with the whole Michael and Angela mess. I'm done with that. Like, she's just gotten so bad from what I'm hearing, because I don't watch it, that I'm not wasting my time. I'm not spending my energy talking about that bitch. I just can't. I'm not doing it. So, and The Single Life is getting there. It's getting to, like, the same as it was last season. Debbie, I don't mind so much. But even Debbie is, Debbie's a try-hard, right? I mean, I want to see her find happiness and find someone that she gets along with and who is good to her and all that other kind of stuff. But she went to this dude's house, getting off of Veronica and what's his nose. Debbie went to Canada, or she came to Canada, and she's in BC, and she's at Tony's house. And Tony is a bit eccentric. Tony's got skulls everywhere. He collects skulls, which is fine. I guess if that's your thing, that's your thing. But if this is the first time you're coming to a person's house and you see it's dark. It literally, I don't know. I think this man was a vampire in a past life, because he's got skulls everywhere, and gargoyles and that kind of shit. And I'm just like, if that was me, I think I would be on the next plane out. But Debbie doesn't have a lot of options, because her lease is up in a few weeks, and her friend, who originally said that she could move in with her, changed her mind because she forgot that Debbie has cats, and the friend has a dog or 2 dogs or something. And so obviously Debbie can't move in with her cats, right? Which is a no-brainer, right? I'm not inviting a friend to move in with her 2 cats and I've got a dog, right? It just doesn't make sense. So Debbie's got to figure out where she's going to live. She didn't find a place before she left for BC, which is dumb as far as I'm concerned. But she went to BC, and I guess she has the intention of maybe this will work out between me and Tony and I can just move to Canada. Well, moving to Canada is not that easy. Do you know what I mean? You can't just pick up your pots and pans and move to Canada. It's about as difficult to move to Canada as it is to move to the US. You know what I mean? I have no idea why people think that, Canada is any different than any other country. You can't just pick up your shit and move. You got paperwork to file. If Debbie is trying to move to Canada with no job, it ain't gonna happen. Canada is super sticky about who moves here, believe it or not. It's actually crazy. I moved here as a kid, so my parents went through all of that, but I have friends as an adult who are going through that as adults. And wow, the hoop jumping. It's crazy, and it's a years long process, right? So I don't know, Deb. I think you're putting your cart before your horse, or whatever it is that saying is. But I don't think Debbie's going to be moving to Canada, because Debbie would have had to get her ducks in a row long before she came to Tony's house in order to even think about moving to Canada. And I know I got some Canadians in my subscriber base. I know you guys are like, bitch, please, you ain't moving to Canada. You would have had to do a whole lot of other stuff besides buy a plane ticket in order to do that. So yeah, Debbie's in Canada. She is at Tony's, and the whole them getting it on. I don't know what it is with the highlighting people and their bedroom activities in this season, but I'm sorry, I could do without it. Again, I'm not prudish, but I just feel like, you know what, if I want to watch OnlyFans shit, I'll go subscribe to someone's OnlyFans account. I don't need to see it on the single life. But anyway, so yeah, Debbie's in Canada. She's visiting Tony, and in this last episode, she is meeting two of Tony's friends. I guess she's familiar with them, and they actually have to now think about her moving to Canada. Like, they actually have to think about it, because the friends are asking questions, right? So I don't know. I'm sorry, Debbie's a mess. If Debbie had half a brain, she would have figured out where she's living in Vegas first, right? I don't care. So sign a 1-year lease. Find a place, sign a year lease. Figure out whether or not you and Tony can stand each other for longer than, the time it takes to get out of a honeymoon, right? They're still in the honeymoon phase. The worst thing you could possibly do in the honeymoon phase is move in with the person. Worst possible thing you could do. It is the worst, because all of the things that would normally aggravate you don't aggravate you in the honeymoon phase, right? So anyways, yeah, the friends are asking questions, and they're starting to have to think about what they're going to do. Are they even going to get along for the entirety of our trip, which I think is like a week or something. A week. Something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So again, as usual, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.